In 2021, my business brought in over $100,000 for the year, which was a drastic change compared to 2018, just 3 years prior, when I only brought in $20K that year. There were some changes that were going on between 2018 and 2021. The biggest change is that I actually took the jump, even though I didn't have the revenue coming in to become a full-time entrepreneur. But there were specific steps that I followed that contributed to my growth. Hi, I'm Adrian M. White, and with over a decade of entrepreneurship experience and launching 4 successful businesses, I know what it takes to grow your business online and live a more purpose-filled life doing the work that you most enjoy. Brand & Convert is your go-to resource for branding, marketing, and entrepreneurship advice for service-based business owners looking to scale their business to 6 figures a year. This is the Brand & Convert with Adrian M. White podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Brand & Convert with Adrian M. White podcast. I'm your girl, Adrian M. White, aka Brand with AMW on Instagram. Go follow me. And I'm here today for our weekly Brand & Convert Chat and Chew, where I provide helpful branding, marketing, and entrepreneurship tips to grow your business. In 2021, my business brought in over $100,000 for the year, which was a drastic change compared to 2018, just 3 years prior, when I only brought in $20K that year. There were some changes that were going on between 2018 and 2021. The biggest change is that I actually took the jump, even though I didn't have the revenue coming in to become a full-time entrepreneur. But there were specific steps that I followed that contributed to my growth. And that's what we'll be talking about today, how I grew my business from $20K a year to $100K a year. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications for new posts, and of course, like and comment on this video. Pretty please. And finally, if you're a driven service-based business owner looking to scale to 6 figures per year, join my private Facebook community, Brand & Convert with Adrian M. White, for notifications of new episodes and to join my live business Q&A launch hour every Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Join today at amwcommunity.com. So some of you know already if you follow me on YouTube and have been following my journey over the last 2 to 3 years. But basically, it was a journey to get to 6 figures. I always knew that was, one of my goals, to get to 6 figures and then to eventually get to 7 figures, which is my ultimate goal. But to get to 6 figures, like I mentioned earlier, there were different steps that I took to get there. And just a little bit of background about what was going on in my life is I had been running my branding, web design, and marketing coaching firm all the way since 2013. So I've been running it for about 5 to 6 years before I actually went full time. But when I first started running the business, I was charging way too low. I was charging $100, $200, $300, $400, $500 for a website. And I think the highest that I got at that particular time was about $600 or $650 for a website. And the reason that I was charging that is because I kind of fell into the business. I started doing web design on the side as a hobby. So as I was continuing to grow and my business was growing, I never priced it for full-time entrepreneurship or to have it as a sustainable business that can pay for my bills, can pay for my lodging, and pay just for my life. So I was just thinking of it as fun money. I was using that money for vacation, and I just didn't really have any insight or understanding into the way that I actually should have been pricing my services, because the value, the quality, the experience that I had, which at that time was about 15 years of experience because I started web design in high school, it didn't equal that price that I was charging. So I want to talk with you guys today. If you're in a similar situation, how you can change your pricing, how you can update it so that you can really get to the 6 figures a year quickly, even if you still are, doing your business on the side. For me, I had to scale up pretty quickly because God told me that beginning of 2019 was when I was supposed to take that leap into full-time entrepreneurship, which later revealed itself to me when I did that jump. And then there were some health challenges with my family and other things going on in my life where it was more important for me to have more flexibility. Yeah, I want to talk with you guys today about how you can get to 6 figures even if you're doing it on the side, because really it shouldn't be about your price scaling so much. It should be about the amount of clients that you can take. The prices that I am charging now are quadruple what I was charging then. And now, obviously I have more bandwidth to be able to take on more clients, but I really could have charged those rates and maybe took on 1 or 2 clients, just considering my bandwidth at that time. So it would have been way easier for me to transition into full-time entrepreneurship and get some money in the bank, basically, I had 6 tips already kind of in my mind, thought out, but I may come up with some extra tips too, because as I was thinking about this episode, it made me think of other things that I was doing to grow my business. Let me hop into it. Let's get to it. Tip number 1, I quadrupled my rates. So you probably have heard this in a previous video. It's definitely on my YouTube. So I will put the link up there if you are watching on YouTube and you can see it. But basically, like I said, I was charging $650 for a website, $250 for a logo. And that was what I was charging like months before I became a full-time entrepreneur. So it wasn't like I had my higher prices and I was all ready to go when I became a full-time entrepreneur. I had my prices still low, and I didn't actually raise my prices until I actually took that leap. So when I did take that leap, I quadrupled my prices because I knew that I had expenses. So like, let's say this is not an accurate number, but let's say that my expenses were $5,000 a month, which I know is a lot of money, but let's say my expenses were $5,000 a month. And before, I was earning $90K in a career, so I was able to afford it because I was getting a large sum of money, $8,000, $9,000 a month from my company, from the company that I was working for. But then working for myself, $5,000, it's way quicker to get to $5,000 by charging $2,400 or $3,000 for a website versus charging $650 for a site. So I realized that. And how I quadrupled my rates is I did competitive research. And I have a video on my YouTube about that as well, on doing your competitive research and pricing your services. So definitely check that out. But I might put some old episodes on this podcast too, so that my Spotify and Apple Podcasts listeners can hear it too. Basically, I did my competitive research. I looked into what were other people charging that were offering similar services or offering packages that I thought that my business could offer as well. And what I did is I made sure that those packages aligned with my services. So if I had to enhance my services and add SEO integration, add copywriting in there, whatever I had to do, I wanted to have a package that was going to be really like all inclusive. And so I took that research and I looked at their prices. I called them up for some of them and I found out what their pricing was. And then I averaged those numbers and chose my rates. So that was the first step I did, is got my pricing to a place where it could actually sustain me. And I didn't have to sell like 20, I didn't have to work on like 20 sites. I could work on a few, maybe 2 or 3 or 5 or whatever my bandwidth could withhold. 2, I implemented the profit first method. If you haven't heard of profit first is I'm sure you're enjoying this episode, but I wanted to quickly pop in to let you know about how you can grow your service-based business to 6 figures a year today by learning how to better market it online. Join my exclusive membership community, marketing maintenance for as little as $49 a month and learn how to develop and implement effective online marketing strategies that bring in more leads while also keeping your WordPress website protected and up to date. This program includes website updates, site maintenance, monthly marketing trainings, one-on-one marketing strategy meetings, and marketing deliverable creation. Join today at marketingandmaintenance.com. A method to manage your accounting, finances, and they recommend that you have approximately 5 different business accounts. And so you're going to have your business revenue account, your business expense account, your taxes account, your profit account, and then your personal expenses account. So I implemented the profit first method so that I could better manage my business finances. And I made sure that I wasn't spending everything that I had coming in, because I also had business subscriptions. I have contractors. I have, a lot of different things. We have taxes that we need to do and file and everything. So I had all those different things going on. And I just wanted to make sure that my money was being managed effectively. So although it didn't increase my funds per se, it did enable me to be able to better manage the increase in funds by having a system in place of where I know money is going and knowing that I'm not overspending. 3, I hired 3 business coaches. So in 2019, when I went full time, I hired a business coach. I talked about it in my last episode, the benefits of hiring a business coach. So I hired my first business coach. I found her from a Facebook ad that I actually had been viewing her ad for almost a year prior to that. But once I went into full-time entrepreneurship, it was more important to me to really figure out a plan and a method to scale my business quickly. So I got really serious about it and I hired a business coach, and she really helped me put processes and things in place that helped me grow my business quicker than it would have grown if I didn't hire the business coach. And then after that, I would say pretty much every year I hire a new business coach. So I continue to get information. I continue to get different lessons from those business coaches. I implement it into my business, and things just keep improving from that. 4, I focused on one main program. So I learned this from pretty much my first 2 business coaches. And basically what it is that you want to sell one main service until you hit your 6-figure goal. So I had created a program. It was an all-inclusive package. I still sell it to this day. It's a one-on-one package, and it included brand narrative and identity consulting. It included brand design. It included web design. It included a trial of my membership program, marketing and maintenance, in it, a 30-day trial of it. So I had a program that I knew was really, really going to benefit my clients, and it was all inclusive. It actually had different services together. So when I say one main thing, it doesn't necessarily have to be one main service. It just needs to be one main package that really helps your clients and you're able to sell it very well. I would say 2019, 2020, and 21, I was very, strong on selling that. That was my main program. And when I had sales calls, that was the program that I would talk about in there. 5, I figured out my call script. So if you are not good at sales, you definitely want to look at videos and things about how to really get your sales together. One of the people that I use personally to get my call script together. So a call script is basically used when you have a prospect call. So if someone is interested in learning more about your programs and services, you have a prospect call with them. And so in that, I basically had a business coach. Her name is Maria Wynn. And I've never met her in person, but to spell her name, it's Maria, and then it's Wendt, I believe. And she's on YouTube as well. Basically, I needed a really good call script. So when I hired her, she had a call script available, and her program is called Get Clients Now. So one of my business coaches was all about getting more clients and growing your business, which is what I needed at that time. So I used her call script, and I customized it to my business. And when I did that, when I started using that call script, I got really good at it. And I still use that call script to this day. I was like in 2021, the beginning of 2021, I was using that call script and I was booking like 95% of the people that were talking to me because my script was so good. So you really want to make sure that you're using a good script or you're creating a good script, because as an entrepreneur, you're going to have to sell. Eventually you can hire someone to maybe help you with selling, but selling is a really big part of entrepreneurship. And if you're going to grow your business, you got to learn how to sell. So that's something that is really important to do. And if you're anything like me, preparation is key. And so that call script, I don't get lost and confused about what I need to say because I have it all written down and I'm following an outline, which is also one of the reasons that I don't recommend doing sales calls via Zoom or anything like that. I recommend it just being a phone call so you can refer to the script when needed. 6, I implemented a membership program and raised the rates. So I have a membership program. It's called Marketing and Maintenance currently. And it's a program for once they are done with their branding, their web design, once they're done with that like initial package with me, it's an affordable program that they can join that is monthly, and they get benefits like website updates. I have different marketing trainings. I can help with different marketing deliverables. I do a lot of marketing coaching because I really want to support them throughout the process. So over the last 3 to 4 years, I've really enhanced the program to what it is today. And the benefit of that program, and this program, like it started off really cheap. I started at like $25 a month for the program. And now it starts at $49, and there's 3 different plan levels: $49 level, $99 level, and $199 level. But basically that program gives me recurring revenue, which is what you want. You don't want money to just come in when you book a client, and you might get a big lump sum. You want, in addition to that, recurring revenue. So I went from $25 to now $49, which actually is a really great value because they're getting website updates, they're getting all these benefits from it. And that was the price that I needed to pay to be able to cover the software that I'm using to support them and to pay my webmaster who is also supporting them. But basically that recurring revenue has been clutch. At first, it was just a little bit, but as you build the clients, like I have at least 40 clients in it now. So as you build the clientele, imagine getting that extra 100, extra 200, extra $50 on a regular basis. It really adds up, and it's adding up to thousands of dollars each month in my account. So make sure that you have recurring revenue because it's auto charged. It's really, really good, and it's going to help give you consistent money coming in, which later on you're going to be very thankful for. And 7, I hired a virtual assistant. I recommend a virtual assistant. I recommend it so, so much. I think my first virtual assistant, I've had a few different virtual assistants since I've been a full-time entrepreneur, but my first one I hired off of Upwork. Basically, a virtual assistant helps you with mundane tasks that you have been doing. For me, that was some of my social media marketing. It was my video editing. It was, there were a lot of like little small things that you do that are probably not the best use of your time and are definitely not giving you the most bang for your buck. So like when you think about what your hourly rate is. So like my hourly rate is $125 an hour. Is that task that I'm doing a $125 an hour task? Or is it a $30 an hour task, $20 an hour task? If it's a task that you think could potentially pay someone else to do for much cheaper, you really want to consider getting a virtual assistant. And there's a lot of different ways that you can do it. You can get an offshore one in the Philippines or India, or you can get, an American one. So definitely look into that. That has greatly contributed to the things that I actually work on that are going to make the money, like taking more sales calls, working on my programs and stuff like that, which definitely require me and is a $125 an hour test. So that's it for today. If you're watching on YouTube, comment below with any questions. And don't forget to join me on Friday for our live business Q&A launch hour at 1 p.m. in my private Facebook group, Brand and Convert with Adrian M. White. You can join today at amwcommunity.com. Wishing you much success and good juju. Thanks for tuning in. You made it to the end. We have more amazing episodes coming up just like this one on the Brand and Convert with Adrian M. White podcast. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at brandwithamw and learn more about working with me at brandwithamw.com. People always ask me how I scaled my business to 6 figures per year and now work full-time in my purpose. After a decade of being an entrepreneur and launching 4 successful businesses, I know what it takes to get your service-based business to 6 figures per year quickly. Start booking higher-paying clients, automating your processes, and clarifying your messaging in my free training, 5 strategies my clients are using to develop brands, websites, and processes that grow 6-figure businesses. Secure your seat today at training.brandwithamw.com. See you there.